Hello there. Welcome to my website. We always like to have some fun here on the website. I taped my syndicated radio program today, and we do that a little in advance, especially on special weekends like Super Bowl weekend at hand, because we're so interested in doing some other things. So I taped the show, and it's usually very light, but I got very serious today, and I want to share it with you, something that deeply concerned me. Put yourself in this position. You're living in a Florida neighborhood. All's quiet on the front. There's no huge controversy there. 6 a.m. in the morning, you look out your window. There's about 25 SUVs with their lights flashing. Live on kind of a canal. There's a couple of boats shining lights up there. There's a helicopter overhead. You see a bunch of agents coming up with a ram to knock your door down. They've got rifles drawn and pistols drawn, all coming your way. What would that tell you about the person that in that living? I would think it was a huge drug dealer, maybe a terrorist they're coming to get, something very, very dangerous, physically dangerous to you and me. Well, it wasn't any of those. It was something that the FBI coordinated. This guy, Roger Stone, who is apparently a contemporary of Donald Trump's and kind of a goofy guy, I think. I'm not a fan of Trump or Roger Stone. But what he did, he's charged with giving false testimony to Congress. Now, he knew this was coming. His lawyers had said, look, if you're going to indict the guy, let us know. He'll come in and turn himself in. And it's not like he was a threat. He didn't have a passport because he couldn't escape from the country. Never been arrested before, never charged with anything. And yet they come into his house, batter ram his door down, and treat this guy like the worst of common criminals. He may get convicted and go to jail. I don't know, and I don't really care. What I do care about is living in a country where you allow a system like that to beat your door down, or unless you're really a very dangerous person. I think it's dangerous itself as how they approached him. And then he was charged with lying before some Senate hearing that was a closed hearing. So they won't even give him his false testimony, what he said to the committee. Well, it's classified. You can't have that. So we're charging you with lying, but you can't see what the lies are. It's something that you'd think would come out of Nazi Germany. It just jackboots coming in and knocking your door down and acting like that. So I raised that point to you. It's not a question. I feel the same way, and the country is feeling the same way. The American Civil Liberties Union, which is usually looked on as more left-wing, are appalled by it. So are right-wing commentators like Rush Limbaugh. There's a cross-section of people who think, look, if you've done something wrong, you should pay a price. But you know, you're innocent until proven guilty. All they had to do was call his lawyer. And let me tell you how dangerous he is. Now, they beat his door down, and there were more agents there to get this guy Stone than there were that went after Osama bin Laden. Who's more dangerous, Stone or Osama bin Laden? And so here's how dangerous he was. After they arrested him in his handcuffs, took him out in front of his family, the whole neighborhood looking at him, he goes to the courthouse. He just doesn't put up a dollar. He just signs a recognizance bond saying he'll show up, and he goes on to his merry way, goes about his merry way. That's how dangerous he was. So I'm not browbeating these charges, and we want to have some fun on the weekend when I do my radio show. When something's so grievous that really turns you inside out over being an American, that's not how we treat fellow Americans. It's something I hope you'll take notice of. Follow the case, and we'll see what happens. Maybe the guy gets convicted. Again, I don't care. I think that every single American, left wing, right wing, whatever your political philosophy is, black, white, green, yellow, I don't care what your race and background is, you ought to be treated fairly. In this case, the fella did not. Hope you'll enjoy looking over my website. Glad you're spending some time with me this week. Get ready for the Super Bowl, and I'll talk to you next week.